Harry and his wife, Meghan Markle, spent Christmas in Montecito, California this year with their 2 children, Archie and Lilibet. They have been living on the other side of the Atlantic for approaching 2 years now, when they stepped back from senior royal duties. The Sussexes announced plans to pursue their own business ventures, including multi-million-pound deals with Netflix and Spotify. To date, they have produced just 35 minutes of content, earning them a reported $486,000 per minute so far. The couple TMS Archewell organization has a business division focusing on media production, as well as a non-profit charitable foundation, through which they can continue to carry out various duties, separate from the royal family. Prior to moving to the US, much of Harry TMS work revolved around the military, having served 2 tours of Afghanistan during a 10-year spell in the army. The armed forces remain incredibly close to his heart, and this was made especially clear in a letter he sent to the family of a fallen hero earlier this month. Nathan Hunt served in Afghanistan with Harry in 2008, but sadly took his own life in 2018 after suffering from severe mental health troubles, which his parents believe were linked to his military service. Nathan TMS parents turned to Harry in a bid to have their son TMS name put on an armed forces memorial. Harry told of his dismay at no longer being able to help in an emotional letter. The Duke thanked the family for their letter and sharing their bid to memorialise their son TMS' life. Harry said, "I deeply empathise with what your family is going through and so wish I could assist formally, had I been in the same role I once was." Pod Save the Queen is hosted by Zoe Forsey and the Mirror TMS royal editor Russell Myers. Mr. Myers said, "We have heard, certainly over the last few months and the last couple of years after Harry was stripped of his military titles, about how disappointed he was of that. The letter," Mr. Myers said, "gave a sense of this disappointment." Alongside the Invictus Games, Harry has previously taken part in expeditions with the Walking with the Wounded charity. He also followed in his mother TMS footsteps by becoming a patron to the Halo Trust charity, which clears landmines and explosive war debris. Mr. Myers said, "I think Harry really does get bad press some of the time." He added, "But when Harry is speaking from the heart, I think that is to be applauded. And the fact that he reached out in this way by just saying, 'I deeply empathise with what your family is going through and I so wish that I could assist formally had I been in the role that I once was' trademark. This was echoed by Ms Morsey. It TMS things like this that feel like the moments where Harry is realising that he can TMT do stuff like that, and he TMS still making the effort to contact people to share his feelings and to offer his sympathies. This is, I think, the side of Harry that people have loved his whole life and they miss." Mr. Myers claimed letters such as this tell you where Harry TMS head is at, with him wishing that he could do more. He said, "Undoubtedly, he has been very affected by losing those military appointments. But that doesn't TMT stop him reaching out to people." Harry and Meghan attended the Intrepid Museum TMS Salute to Freedom Gala in New York in November, which honors veterans. They also traveled to a military base in New Jersey, where they spoke with US service members and their spouses. Mr. Myers said he expects Harry to step up his military involvement on British soil again in the not-too-distant future. He said, "I think there certainly will be a place for him here at some stage to get involved with the UK Military Veteran Association. They would really appreciate him being more involved. Once the dust has settled in the future, then that TMS something we TMLLC more of. We TMV got Invictus Games coming up next May in The Hague, so maybe watch this space." To subscribe to Pod Save the Queen, go to your normal podcast provider.